Breaking right now on Morning News Now, new numbers from Israeli officials who have now confirmed the identities of 199 hostages captured during the surprise Hamas terror attack. This as Gaza is experiencing a dire humanitarian crisis with clean water, food, and fuel running out. Hospitals are being pushed to the breaking point. Hundreds of thousands are hoping to flee to Egypt, but only those with a foreign passport will be able to leave if the border crossing opens. Over the weekend, President Joe Biden says he spoke with the Palestinian Authority president who condemned the Hamas attack. Biden saying in a statement that the U.S. is working with partners to ensure humanitarian aid reach civilians in Gaza and that the conflict doesn't spread. Meanwhile, the Israeli military is amassing troops and equipment along the border for what it calls a coordinated attack by air, land, and sea, while the world waits for its expected ground invasion.
Good morning. Good to have you with us on this Monday. I'm Joe Fryer.
And I'm Savannah Sellers.
From the Middle East to Washington, we have full team coverage of this developing story once again this morning. NBC News foreign correspondent Josh Letterman joins us now from northern Israel. Josh, good morning to you. So there are reports that Gaza's border with Egypt, the Rafah crossing, would open earlier this morning to let foreigners out and let aid in. That's been denied by the Israelis. What's the situation right now?
Well, the situation, Joe, is that thousands of Gazans, including foreigners, have amassed at the border crossing with Egypt trying to get out after this piece of news that seemed like a good development last night when we heard from the Palestinian representative there that they believe there was a deal in place in which there would be humanitarian aid allowed to flow into the Gaza Strip in exchange for Palestinian foreign nationals being allowed out. But then this morning, both Hamas and Israel said there was no agreement in place for the Israeli military to have a ceasefire over that area to make sure that the civilians trying to leave wouldn't come under airstrikes. And so as of now, there doesn't appear to be any civilians actually getting out, which is the latest piece of devastating news for all of those people who are in the Gaza Strip desperately trying to reach safety back in Egypt.
Yeah, I want to ask you a little bit more about that, Josh, just these harrowing images that we're seeing coming out of Gaza, warnings from UN agencies about the situation inside the Gaza Strip. I mean, they are just so incredibly dire. Tell us the latest there, aside just from the people trying to get out at that crossing.
Well, the medical system in the Gaza Strip, Savannah, is at this point really at a breaking point. You have over 1 million Gazans who have now been displaced from their homes, and tens of thousands of them are actually sheltering in hospitals because they're believed to be one of the only places that likely won't be targeted by airstrikes. And I want you to hear from the head of UNRWA, the UN's agency for humanitarian help in the Gaza Strip, about what's going on right now. Watch.
Gaza is being strangled, and it seems that the world right now has lost its humanity. If we look at the issue of water, we all know water is life, and Gaza is running out of water, and Gaza is running out of life. Every story coming out of Gaza is about survival, despair, and loss. Thousands of people have been killed, including children and women. No place is safe in Gaza.
Now, there were reports that Israel had agreed to restore the water supply to the Gaza Strip. But as of this morning, the head of the Gazan Water Authority is saying that is not true. So far, they have not been notified of that.
So, Josh, I want to ask you about where you are right now in northern Israel. We understand there's an ongoing operation to try and evacuate Americans from Israel.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. So if you look at behind me, this is a Royal Norwegian cruise ship, Rhapsody of the Seas, and it is expected to leave in just a few hours, carrying up to 2,500 Americans who are trying to get out of Israel. This is organized by the U.S. government, and it is going to be taking them to Cyprus, where they will then be on their own to try to book hotels or flights back to the United States. This is part of what the U.S. is doing, along with charter flights, to create options for Americans who are in Israel and don't feel safe to get back to the United States, given the fact that Delta, American, United, and other airlines have all stopped flying to and from Israel right now, Joe.
And Josh, before we let you go, do we have any new information on the hostage situation?
The only thing we know is not great, which is that Israel this morning increased its estimate for how many hostages are in Israel, in Gaza Strip, I should say, saying that they have now notified families that there are 199 people they believe are hostage in the Gaza Strip, which is a significant increase from the earlier estimates. We know diplomatic negotiations are ongoing to try to create some type of a hostage prisoner swap between Israel and Hamas, but so far no signs of progress on that front, Savannah.
All right, Josh Letterman reporting from Israel. Josh, thank you so much.
Yeah, well, NBC News military analyst Colonel Jack Jacobs joins us now for a closer look at Israel's military strategy and what we might see in the coming days. Always great to have you with us, Colonel. Thanks for being here. So the IDF says it's ramping up for this next phase in its military response to Hamas's attack. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to demolish Hamas in Gaza as he spoke to Israel's expanded emergency cabinet just today. With all the bombing that's already happened and what that means it actually physically looks like and what the ground is like in Gaza, what can we expect from this next phase from Israel?
Well, it's extremely difficult to fight in urban terrain, as we already know, and there's so much rubble on the streets, it makes it more difficult for an advancing force to find the enemy and to destroy the enemy. This is extremely difficult terrain. But you use the term phase, and it's really, really important, especially here. Any military operation is going to be phased. And so the IDF has almost undoubtedly drawn phase lines with objectives along those lines so that they can determine how well they're doing along the entire front. And this will take a long time to achieve, especially the initial phases, to make sure that the area is cleared of Hamas and that any non-combatants are evacuated. Second, the IDF had to have must establish collection areas to the rear in Gaza so that any non-combatants can be brought there and taken care of, given food, shelter, water, and medical attention before they move on to the next phase. This all means that it's going to be a very slow and painstaking operation, which is why the IDF says it's going to take some time.
Colonel, on CBS's 60 Minutes, an interview that aired last night, President Biden was asked whether he would support Israeli occupation of Gaza. Let's listen to what he said.
I think that it would be a mistake for Israel to occupy Gaza again. But to going in and taking out the extremists, the Hezbollah is up north, but Hamas down south is a necessary requirement.
So Israel's ambassador to the UN says Israel has no interest in occupying Gaza. So, Colonel, what's Israel's end game here? What course of action should Israel consider taking long term to make sure Hamas is no longer a threat?
Well, I think everybody's right. Israel does not want to occupy Gaza, and certainly not for any length of time. It tried it before. It didn't like it very much and left. What's really important here is to engage Arab countries in the region to take responsibility for, perhaps in a coalition, to take care of the Gazans. That hasn't happened before, and that's one of the reasons why the plight of the Gazans is so dire, has been dire for a long time, why it's been very poorly administered by the people the Gazans have elected, and why this problem exists now. That problem won't be fixed unless Egypt in particular, but other Arab nations in the region take responsibility for putting a coalition together to take care of the Gazans. Once that happens, then organizations like Hamas won't be able to return because the people of Gaza will have a much better life. But Hamas has to be gotten rid of, but then the people in the region have to get together to take care of that strip and the people in it.
And how much does that complicate things, Colonel, the fact that there are these civilians as well as hostages on the ground in such a small area where this attack is going on?
It makes it extremely difficult. It's at the best of times, it's difficult to separate non-combatants from combatants, especially in a place where the area is built up, like in Gaza, where Hamas has a history of using human shields. Distinguishing between combatants and non-combatants becomes extremely difficult, especially in the heat of battle. And we've said this before, but it's worth remembering. We should be realistic about the plight of the hostages. Many of them are probably already dead. Hamas has a history of killing hostages in addition to killing its own people. It's going to be very difficult to distinguish between combatants and non-combatants, and to find hostages and safely evacuate them from a combat area.
All right, Colonel Jack Jacobs, as always, we appreciate you. Thank you very much. Sure. Well, former Special Envoy to the Middle East, Ambassador Dennis Ross, joins us now with more on what we can expect from Israel's ongoing military response and what's at stake for the broader region, really. Ambassador, thank you for joining us. So Israel's military, as we were just discussing, says it's preparing to enter this new phase with what they're calling an integrated and coordinated attack from air, sea, and land. What do you think this will look like for Israel's strategy in the short term, but as well as in the long term, as they plan out what's next?
Look, I think you just heard from Colonel Jacobs how complicated this is going to be, how difficult it's going to be. I think the essence of what the Israelis are trying to do in the near term is soften up the battle space, meaning what they're doing right now with air power is designed to weaken Hamas's military capability in advance of going in on the ground. They have no illusions of how difficult it will still be because Hamas is basically underground. They're in tunnels that they have developed and built all throughout Gaza. They base themselves, a lot of their command positions are under hospitals or under mosques. The tunnels themselves are almost all booby-trapped. Many of the tunnels for sure will have hostages that they may booby-trap themselves, or they may certainly use as human shields. So what Israel is doing right now is trying to destroy as much of the Hamas military infrastructure as it can. It's trying to gather intelligence not only about where the hostages are, but also where the key Hamas leaders are. They want to decapitate Hamas. It's not just destroying the Hamas military infrastructure, but they basically want to decapitate the leadership so that Hamas has no command, no control, and that loses increasingly its ability to have any control at all within Gaza itself. That's the near-term strategy that we're looking at. And we're going to see this play itself out, I think, over the coming weeks. I say that deliberately, consciously, because the idea that Israel is going to come in tomorrow on the ground shouldn't have any illusions. Israel right now is trying to keep Hamas, in a sense, uncertain of exactly where it's going to hit and when it's going to hit. And in the meantime, make it increasingly difficult for Hamas to operate at all. At some point, they will come in on the ground. Don't assume it's going to look like just an overall onslaught all at once. I'm not sure that's going to be the shape at all.
Ambassador, there is a growing sense of frustration among Israeli military officials and others. Not enough is being done to rescue the hostages that were taken by Hamas over a week ago. Why? Just spell out what are some of the challenges that Israel faces as it tries to rescue these hostages.
Well, think about in a sense, the contradiction. And it really is. It's a tension in objectives. On the one hand, what you want to do is you want to go and you want to destroy the Hamas capability to ever threaten Israel again. On the other hand, you have hostages you're trying to save and to find and to recover. There's a tension in those two objectives because Hamas is trying to use the hostages first to try to deter the nature of what Israel will do on the grounds that if you come in, we'll execute them. By the same token, Israel has very little interest in actually bargaining with Hamas over the release of hostages, because if they give Palestinian prisoners in return, it would look like Hamas has gained something. And Hamas gaining something is the last thing that is required, especially from an Israeli standpoint, because that ideology of rejection is one they want to show has been defeated, not that it's been rewarded. So how you sort this out is incredibly difficult. It's one of the reasons some of what we may see in terms of the military objectives is first focusing on where they might try to recover some of the hostages. Hostage rescue missions themselves are also incredibly difficult. Oftentimes when you go in to rescue hostages, especially if the Hamas will put them in front, they'll use them as human shields. So you may be able to rescue some, but it's very difficult to pull those off and be able to rescue all of them, because the first thing that will happen is that either they'll be shields or Hamas will kill them as soon as the Israeli military enters. So this is really, it's a situation, to use the word awful understates it. This is a case where that we have a kind of poverty of language to capture the nature of what the hostages are going through, what their families are going through, the nature of what the military challenges Israel will face. And yet it's not going to go away because they're not going to allow this to end with Hamas somehow still being in control.
Ambassador, we just have a few moments, but is a ceasefire agreement at all possible, you think, as we've seen in the past when conflicts between Israel and Hamas have played out?
You're not going to see a replay of what we've seen in 2009, 2012, 2014, 2018, 2021. We have a ceasefire and then used to repeat this all over again. Hamas uses the time to rebuild. You may have some short-term periods to allow the movement of people within Gaza to either evacuate to more safe areas or in the case of getting the Egyptians to open Rafah for certain periods of time so people can actually get out and move to some safe areas there potentially as well.
Ambassador Dennis Ross, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Sure.
The unfolding conflict between Israel and Hamas is the latest in a region with a long history of tension. NBC News foreign correspondent Matt Bradley takes a look back at the history of Israel.
This sliver of land along the Mediterranean Sea has been fought over for centuries. Several different faiths call it home. Once colonized by the Ottoman Empire, the region, known then as Palestine, came under British control after World War I. The British government sought to partition the land for Jews persecuted in Europe who saw it as their ancestral homeland. A mass migration followed, increasing tensions and violence in the region. Following the horrors of World War II, Jewish migration swelled, as did Western support for the creation of a Jewish nation.
World Jewry that will not put up with gas chambers anymore.
And in 1947, the United Nations voted to approve two separate Jewish and Arab states with Jerusalem as an international city. But the plan was opposed by the Palestinian population and the rest of the Arab world. With the problem still unresolved and violence mounting, Britain withdrew, and the Jewish population declared their own independent state.
Israel had taken its place among the nations of the world.
The United Nations accepted Israel, but 5 neighboring Arab countries invaded. Thousands of Jews and Arabs were killed, and an estimated 750,000 Arabs either fled or were expelled in what the Palestinians call the Nakba, or the catastrophe. Generations later, they remain refugees, even as Israel welcomes Jews from all over the world.
For more than 20 years, the Palestine refugees have lived in camps like this, more than 1 million of them, jammed together.
In 1967, war broke out once again.
In the face of Egyptian threats, Israel launched a preemptive strike. In 6 days, that changed the Middle East.
Known as the Six-Day War, Israel gained land in Gaza, Egypt's Sinai Peninsula, Syria, the West Bank, and the sacred city of Jerusalem. But a few years later, Arab armies invaded once again on the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur, making initial gains that humbled Israel.
They came in low, their cannons blazing. The troops here fired back with machine guns and small arms.
The Arabs' sudden display of strength laid the groundwork for reconciliation.
We are not seeking to throw you into the sea, but we are seeking not to be thrown into the desert ourselves.
Egypt and Jordan made peace deals with Israel. Then a huge breakthrough in 1993. The Palestinian ruling body agreed to recognize Israel for the first time. Suddenly, peace seemed within reach. The Oslo Accords called for the eventual creation of a Palestinian state, a two-state solution. But the deal has struggled to hold, fueled by anger over Israeli settlements and Palestinian attacks. In the coming years, more radical religious movements emerged among the Palestinians. Palestinians elected Hamas in 2006. The group seized control of Gaza a year later.
The Hamas charter calls for the destruction of Israel. The Israelis say they're terrorists.
Fearing attacks, Israel and Egypt imposed a blockade, a move condemned by human rights groups as an open-air prison. Meanwhile, Hamas fighters continued to attack Israel, who in turn pummeled the region with missiles and rockets in a seemingly endless cycle of violence. Then Hamas opened a new and bloody chapter in this ancient story, carrying centuries of history into a new and terrifying present.
Our thanks to Matt Bradley for that report.
Well, demonstrators across the country flooded the streets this past weekend, showing support for both Israelis and Palestinians. But the two sides were often seen clashing, putting national security on high alert. NBC News correspondent Jesse Kirsch has the details.
American authorities are on alert.
There's no question we're seeing an increase in reported threats, and we've got to be on the lookout, especially for lone actors.
The FBI warning comes as people continue demonstrating in solidarity with Israelis and Palestinians worldwide. Groups demonstrating on both sides in Austin, Texas. NBC's Priscilla Thompson was there.
Hundreds gathered at the Texas state capitol rallying in support of Israel. And right afterward, an even larger crowd gathered for a pro-Palestinian rally, just two of many happening across the country.
Over the past week, we've heard calls for peace, but we've also heard chants like this. Outside Australia's famed Sydney Opera House, in a pro-Palestinian crowd, some called for genocidal tactics the Nazis used as they murdered 6 million Jews. In California, someone waved a Nazi swastika flag. Hamas's terrorism marked the deadliest attack on Jews since the Holocaust. And in the week since, the Anti-Defamation League says preliminarily reports of anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. have spiked almost 300% year over year.
We know that Jewish individuals and institutions regularly are targeted and victimized by people who collectively blame the Jews.
Among the ADL's concerns, some demonstrators denouncing Zionism, defined by the ADL as the movement for the self-determination and statehood for the Jewish people in their ancestral homeland.
Anti-Zionism is actually a prelude to genocide. It's conditioning people to see Jews as objects, to see Jews as subhuman.
We are in support of our Jewish brothers and sisters, but we cannot accept a state like the State of Israel that imposes a religious and ethnic apartheid.
A debate and a war that have no end in sight. Jesse Kirsch, NBC News.
Coming up, deadline day. If you filed for an extension on your taxes, time is running out to file that return. What you need to know to avoid costly penalties.
But first, more drama on Capitol Hill, where a vote to name a new Speaker of the House could happen again tomorrow. But with Republican infighting once again taking center stage, could the GOP soon be forced to reach across the aisle? That story's next. Welcome back. A vote is planned for Tuesday on the floor of the House of Representatives to try again to elect a new House Speaker. That's according to House Democratic Whip Catherine Clark.
Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan won the Republicans' nomination last week, just days after House Majority Leader Steve Scalise won the nomination initially, but then dropped out of the running after not being able to secure enough votes from GOP members.
It's unclear if Jordan will have enough support to win the speakership. It has been nearly 2 weeks now since Kevin McCarthy was ousted from that leadership role.
NBC News senior congressional reporter Scott Wong joins us now for more. Hi, Scott. Good morning. Great to have you with us. So when we last left off on Friday, we know that Congressman Jordan was short of the votes needed to secure the speakership. What are some of the major concerns here, and what is Jordan doing to try to flip some of those holdouts? Does he have hope there?
Well, Congressman Jordan has been spending the bulk of the weekend making phone calls to some of those holdouts, trying to win over support, trying to flip those no's to the yes column. He has his entire whip team reaching out across the caucus to try to garner more support heading into this big Tuesday vote. Now, the magic number, of course, is 217. It means that Jordan needs at least nearly his entire Republican conference to rally behind him in order to win the simple majority vote needed on the House floor. However, we do know from that last Friday's vote that 55 Republicans stated that they would not support him on the House floor coming up on Tuesday. So he really has had his work cut out for him. That's a huge deficit to make up. We do know that some folks are already in the opposition column. Folks like Ann Wagner, Mario Diaz-Balart from Florida has expressed some real concerns with Jim Jordan. A key member, a key defense hawk, Mike Rogers of Alabama, he runs the House Armed Services Committee, obviously concerned with aid for things like Ukraine, has also said he would be a no. So opposition coming from moderates, from appropriators like Mario Diaz-Balart, and also defense hawks like Mike Rogers.
Seems like there are plenty of no's to Jordan now. Of course, Democrats will stick by their nominee, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Let's be clear, he's not going to be Speaker. But Jeffries joined Meet the Press yesterday to talk about the divide in the House. Let's listen and we'll talk about it on the other side.
There are informal conversations that have been underway. When we get back to Washington tomorrow, it's important to begin to formalize those discussions. From the very beginning of this Congress, House Democrats have made clear that we want to continue to put people over politics and to fight for things like lower costs, better paying jobs, safer communities, and to build an economy that works from the middle out and the bottom up. On the other hand, House Republicans have been focused on fighting each other. It's time to end the Republican Civil War.
So any sort of bipartisan coalition among House Republicans, what would that accomplish? How much support does it actually have among Republicans?
Well, Democrats are going to huddle back in the Capitol at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, the morning before that vote goes to the House floor on Jim Jordan. I'm sure there will be plenty of discussion about what Democrats can do. Right now, they're saying they're just going to hold the line, vote no on Jordan. But Hakeem Jeffries and other members of leadership, while they are not engaged in bipartisan talks on perhaps a consensus candidate, they have allowed their members and freed their members to go have conversations with other moderates about what can be done. Start having those early conversations. I think we are still many, many steps away from any sort of bipartisan deal that would allow for a consensus candidate, perhaps a moderate Republican that would have the backing of Democrats to emerge. But it's something I think that's very much on the table because of these key deadlines that are coming up very soon. In a little over a month, we run out of money to fund the government. Of course, we'll be right in the same situation as we were earlier with the threat of a potential shutdown. And so Hakeem Jeffries is saying, go out, have these conversations, but I think we're still far, far away from any sort of consensus candidate emerging.
All right, Scott Wong, thank you so much, Scott.
Thank you. Well, there are frost and freeze alerts for millions of Americans this morning. Let's get a check on your morning news now weather.
Meteorologist Michelle Grossman's with us, tracking the cold. Hey, Michelle.
Hey there, guys. Yeah, you need the coats, you need the jackets, you need the scarves, and some spots, even some hats, because we're looking at below freezing temperatures. We have frost and freeze alerts this morning throughout the plains. Where you see the light pink color, that's frost advisories. And then the freeze warnings, that's in the hot pink. That includes Dodge City. And it's going to be a chilly day from the Rockies east. We're looking at temperatures 5 to 15 degrees below what is typical for this time of year. So an autumn chill in place today, tomorrow, and then we start to rebound by Wednesday. But take a look at some of these numbers by this afternoon. These are daytime highs, and notice this number right next to it. We're 5 to 15 degrees below what is typical for this time of year. So chilly all the way down to Tallahassee, just 69 degrees. We have high pressure in the plains working with an area of low pressure. They're working in tandem to create this really cool air. So 62 degrees today, Washington, D.C. Also in the Northeast, you could see a few showers. In addition to that cool air, it's breezy too, winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour in some spots in the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley, also the Northeast and down through the Appalachians. Tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures still chilly, well below normal. Once again, Atlanta, 68 degrees, 64 in Knoxville, Norfolk, 66, and 71 degrees in Jacksonville. We start to rebound by Wednesday. Notice 70s back on the map. So Raleigh, we're into the mid-70s. We're into the 70s in Richmond, also portions of Cincinnati and New York City doing much better, into the upper 60s. That is closer to normal. Talking about that area of low pressure, we do have some isolated showers, and it's going to just be some drizzle. You don't really need the umbrella as you head out in spots. Maybe in New England, there's going to be pockets of more moderate rainfall, but otherwise, we're looking at the chance for some showers. There it is as it moves over Canada. It's going to move into the Atlantic, but before that, we're going to see those isolated showers. Also looking at the winds kicking up to 25 miles per hour. Here's the good news, a relatively quiet start to the work week. It's chilly. We do have some sprinkles in the Northeast. We have some rain and wind. That's a big weather story in terms of wet weather in the Pacific Northwest. Most of the West Coast and the West is dry, but we're looking at some rain and wind throughout the Pacific Northwest and could see up to 4 inches of rain in some spots. Where you see those brighter colors, that's where we're expecting the highest amounts of rain. And as we look along the coast, Seattle, Portland, Eugene, down to Eureka, we're looking at the chance for some rain today, also tomorrow.
the heat kicked on in my very old apartment building over the weekend.
For the first time?
I think it was the first time, yeah, that
gosh.
I've heard. So it was very noisy.
There you go.
It's time.
It's time. All right.
Great.
Thanks, Michelle. Appreciate it. Afghanistan was hit by yet another powerful earthquake over the weekend.
NBC News foreign correspondent Claudio Lavanga joins us with that and some other world headlines. Hey, Claudio, good morning.
Joe Savannah, good morning. That's right. On Sunday, yet another 6.3 magnitude quake struck western Afghanistan and once again near the city of Herat. Now, this new hit joins a series of 3 other earthquakes in the same region, killing more than 1,000 in total. If you're counting, that makes this the 4th deadly tremor in just over a week. According to local authorities, at least 1 person has died from this most recent quake. The World Health Organization says another 100 people are being treated for injuries in a regional hospital. Now let's travel over to Australia, where the E-Safety Commission is issuing a nearly $400,000 fine to the company X, formerly known as Twitter, over gaps in anti-child abuse practices. The Australian Commission says Elon Musk's social media platform is, quote, falling short by failing to reply to questions about reporting and detecting child abuse material. X is the first online platform to get fined under Australia's Online Safety Act. Australian officials say they also sent legal notices to companies like Google, TikTok and Twitch back in February. But according to Australian officials, Google also failed to answer all of the regulators' questions and received a warning, but they say X's lack of responses was more severe. X has about 28 days to pay the fine or provide answers to the Commission's questions. And finally, let's race to Tokyo, where runner Naoki Koyama won the Marathon Grand Championship, landing him a spot at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Koyama ran through the rain, crossing the finishing line in 2 hours, 8 minutes and 57 seconds. The race took runners on a street course around central Tokyo. Koyama will be joined by Akira Akasaki, who took home 2nd place. Just a few paces behind, 2 hours, 9 minutes and 6 seconds. Joe Savannah.
That's how long it takes me to go about 3 miles.
Yeah,
so,
I can't even imagine. Claudio, thank you very much. Well, coming up, another potential setback for former President Trump.
The fight over a gag order and what it could mean for the former president next.
We are back now with the ongoing special counsel's investigation into former President Trump's alleged meddling in the 2020 election.
Today, a federal judge is set to hold a hearing in Washington on whether a gag order should be issued. It would restrict what Trump could say about the case. The former president, of course, has pleaded not guilty and denied any wrongdoing.
To break it all down, we are joined, of course, by NBC News legal analyst Danny Sabalas. Danny, always wonderful to have you with us. So explain how this hearing is going to work. What are both prosecutors and Trump's legal team arguing today?
Judge Chutkan doesn't really need to hear a lot in the way of actual evidence. These are really legal issues. And in all likelihood, Judge Chutkan will grant the prosecution's request for a gag order. But is it a constitutional one? That may be a close call. But I think that Judge Chutkan probably has very real concerns about the conduct that Trump commits outside the courtroom, seeping into the courtroom in terms of insulting witnesses, parties, the government, and the judge.
What are the challenges for the judge here? Because you have to try and keep the trial fair, but you also need to balance the former president's right to speak publicly, especially since he's in the middle of a campaign. What's at stake here?
Here's what a close call this is. Any gag order raises 2 major issues that are presumptively unconstitutional. One is called prior restraint, and that's where a court says to someone, hey, before you even talk, you can't say anything. And then the second is what's called a content-based restriction. In other words, where the government says to somebody, you can talk about this topic, you just can't talk about that topic. Both of those are presumptively unconstitutional. So the judge has to weigh out, literally balance out, what is the potential harm to the sanctity of the trial versus Trump's right to speak freely. And that right to speak freely as a part of the government, I shouldn't say the government as in the prosecution, but the courts are essentially, for constitutional purposes, a part of the government. If they suppress speech, that raises First Amendment concerns.
So we know as of right now, anyway, this trial is set to start next March. First, do you think that will move? But then second, what can we expect to see between now and whenever one does get underway?
The answer to your first question is no. And that's just based on what I call Danny's rule. I add at least 2 to 3 months to any trial date in any Trump trial scheduling, because unknown things will come up. Yes, we're in federal court, at least on this case and one other. And yes, federal court moves very efficiently, but unforeseen things happen. As for the state court cases, New York and Georgia, Danny's rule adds a year onto any trial date because, number one, you're in state court and it's chaos. And number two, there are just such weighty constitutional and separation of powers and supremacy clause issues that motions are going to be filed, things are going to come up. And, of course, in the Georgia case with that many co-defendants, much more than a dozen, things are going to happen that will gum up the process.
Now you have a name for a book or a podcast, yeah. Danny's Rule.
Danny's Rule, yes. Rarely accurate.
Thanks, Danny.
Turning now to some sad news out of Hollywood. Television superstar and fitness fanatic Suzanne Somers passed away on Sunday at the age of 76, just one day shy of her birthday. NBC News correspondent Dana Griffin takes a look back at her incredible career on and off TV.
Come and knock on our door.
From TV sitcom stardom to trend-setting pitchwoman,
easy to squeeze,
Suzanne Somers was a household name for decades. But Suzanne Marie Mahoney wasn't always so confident.
Quiet, insecure, the kid who stayed in the corner.
After marriage and motherhood, Somers began her career as a prize model on the game show hosted by Alan Hamill, who would become her second husband, a love story lasting more than half a century. The game show and a role as the elusive blonde in American Graffiti,
I saw a goddess,
launched her career.
He bought me the third thing 5 winters ago.
But Somers always credited Johnny Carson for discovering her in the NBC commissary in 1973 and making her a regular on The Tonight Show.
That's a fine number.
Thank you.
Her big break came as the lovable and klutzy Chrissy Snow, helping make Three's Company a television mega hit. But Somers left midway through the run, fired, she said, for demanding to be paid as much as popular male TV stars.
The men were making 10 to 15 times more than me on much lesser series.
In the 90s, she went on to TGIF fame, playing Carol Lambert, America's Mom Next Door, on the comedy sitcom Step by Step.
Give us all a chance to be together as a family and talk.
Whatever.
Yeah, right.
All while making the Thigh Master a household product, selling millions.
We may not have been born with great legs, but now we can look like we were.
Somers also became a best-selling author, detailing her fitness regimen, her battle with breast cancer, and her chaotic childhood.
Life at home for the child of an alcoholic is one of constant crisis.
As a woman's health and anti-aging advocate, Somers embraced alternative medicine.
As a general rule, I like to go natural first.
But at times faced criticism for her controversial views on cancer and stem cell treatments.
I take such good care of myself, and I eat right, and I sleep right, and I think right, and I love right.
Through the years, Somers always embraced a live life to the fullest mentality.
It's not the problems in your life that define you. It's how you respond to the problems in your life that define who you are as a person.
Dana Griffin, NBC News.
Coming up, if you filed an extension on your taxes, the deadline to file is here.
Up next, we're going to go one-on-one with an expert to break down what you need to know and the tools that can help you along the way.
We're back now with some money headlines for you, starting with Rite Aid filing for bankruptcy.
CNBC's Bertha Coombs joins us with that and other financial headlines. Bertha, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Joe and Savannah. Yeah, Rite Aid is filing for bankruptcy after dealing with years of losses and failed merger attempts. The drugstore chain has also been unable to pay the cost of settling multi-million-dollar lawsuits related to its alleged role in the opioid epidemic. The bankruptcy filing will put those lawsuits on hold for now. Rite Aid will close more of its 2,100 stores nationwide. The collapse could impact some of the 47,000 jobs at the company, which just marked its 61st anniversary. Apple is planning a new system for its retail stores to update software on phones before they're sold. Bloomberg reports the company has developed a pad-like device that stores can place unopened boxes of phones on top of. The system can then wirelessly turn on the phones, update the software, and power them back down. Apple aims to start rolling out the new system to its stores by the end of the year. And more than 3/4 of holiday travelers are changing their plans already due to inflation and rising prices. A new report from Bankrate finds that the biggest changes include driving instead of flying, taking fewer trips, and booking cheaper hotel accommodations. About 70% of holiday travelers have at least one concern about their upcoming trip, led by worries that their plans will put a strain on their budget. Quarter are concerned that they'll feel pressured to spend more than they're comfortable with, and 16% are worried that they may go into debt in order to pay for holiday travel, which makes it even tougher since a lot of people go into debt in terms of holiday gifts. So it's kind of a double whammy.
Whew, a lot all at once. All right, Bertha, thank you. Very good to see you.
So if you filed for an extension on your 2022 federal tax returns, well, your time is up. The deadline is today, and that means those returns need to be submitted to the IRS to avoid paying any penalties or fines. Let's bring in Mark Stieber for more on this. He's the Chief Tax Information Officer at Jackson Hewitt. Mark, good to have you with us. So let's start with people need to do ahead of this very rapidly approaching deadline today. Well, what resources do people have to get those returns to the government on time?
Well, there's several good best practices, the first of which 3 out of 4 people are still getting refunds, even extended people. Not as many as got it during the year, but there's still refunds to be had. Secondly, after the 16-hour mark at midnight tonight, at least East Coast time, you are correct. You are subject to late filing penalties, maybe late failure to pay penalties and other penalties. Plus, it's just a headache if you're anybody who's got a license or a certification and your background check says no tax return filed. It's not something to trifle with. So plenty of time, plenty of help out there, and you can certainly get it done. And even if you miss the deadline, time is of the essence. Get it done as soon as you can. It's a better story.
So what does happen if you do miss this deadline, Chad? Say forget or for whatever reason you can't get it in. What are the penalties?
Well, there's a penalty for late filing, and that can be up to 25%, of your tax liability. There's a late payment if you owe money and you didn't file. You get both penalties. So you can get penalties for failing to pay, penalties for failure to file. But again, what I've seen in the world today is more people are being checked, through their employer or to get a job, and it's easy to check and see if this person's compliant with their tax return. And that can hang you up trying to explain to your boss or a potential employer, I didn't file my taxes. It's a pretty tough story to get over. So just do it. It's the right thing. And as I say, if you need a carrot instead of a stick, 3 out of 4 people still getting refunds from all those credits, deductions, and benefits that are in the code that you might not know about till you talk to your tax pro.
Yeah, very true. So this next question might be more for next year as opposed to this year, but it is a common misconception among those who file for an extension that they don't have to pay their taxes until the deadline. Not the case, though, right? Walk us through what people need to do.
Absolutely not the case. That's exactly true. People misunderstand. I don't have money to pay right now. I'll just kick the can down the road with the 6-month extension. An extension to file is just that, an extension to file the paperwork. You still owe all your money on April 15th this year, tax day. And unfortunately, that's about 75 days out to the start of tax season this year. So if you're still looking at last year, might be time to take a weekend and get your house in order, file your taxes, start planning for next year, do a tax estimate. That's a real best practice right now to see kind of where you're going to come out on this coming tax season, again, in 75 days.
Do you have just a great tip in general for folks who plan to file the normal time next year? Is it too early to start thinking about that, or is there something they should be doing now?
Taxes are no longer a tax day event. Our tax return code is so intertwined with our societal fabric. I'll simply say this. If you're not doing a mid-year checkup in about June and a near year-end checkup in about November, you're really just throwing your tax situation to chance. And you sit down with your pros and they say, maybe a refund, maybe you owe, maybe a big refund, and you should have got some of that back with each paycheck lower than your withholding. So I'll say my best practice is do a tax checkup. You don't have to be sophisticated. You don't need a computer or a tax pro. Take last year's return, take your year-to-date information, kind of estimate the last part of the year and see where you are. And if you got questions, see a pro.
All right, Mark Stieber, you make taxes fun.
And energetic. So much energy. I love it.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on.
16 hours, get it done.
All right.
Thanks, Mark.
Coming up, get it done. Start your engines. Formula One is returning to the U.S.
And with American viewership on the rise, 500,000 people are expected to attend this weekend's race. Up next, we'll be joined by Formula One driver Logan Sargent to discuss his rookie year and racing on home soil. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are ending this hour with a really cool one. This weekend, Formula One is back at the Circuit of the Americas. That is right in the heart of Texas, and an estimated 500,000 fans are expected to descend on the Austin track, making for an exciting competition. And we are joined this morning here in studio by one of those drivers. Logan Sargent is F1's first American driver in almost 8 years. So cool. Logan, good morning. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
I feel lucky to get to have you on a race week because I know you've got a lot going on. So first, let's talk how your rookie year has been. And I know for a lot of viewers at home, F1 has sort of just roared, for lack of a better, not to try to make a joke, but into our sort of collective conscious after this Netflix show. So a lot of people know, but just what's a rookie year like?
I think it's more difficult than I expected. To be honest, every chance to get to drive a Formula One car is absolutely special. It's absolutely amazing. And I enjoy every chance I get. And I think the bit that's unexpected is you forget how good everyone else you're driving against is and how, picture perfect you have to be every single day. And I think that's been the biggest takeaway for me from it. But no, it's been amazing. To work with the team, go to all these amazing tracks, all these amazing places through the year has been so amazing.
Oh, my gosh. And coming up still, you have this weekend, Austin, then you're going to Mexico City, Brazil, Vegas, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about getting into this, especially as an American, because I know when I've been telling people I'm talking with you, they're like, it's just so cool. You just don't hear about people doing this in America. I know you come a little bit from a racing family. You have a brother who's not an F1. But what was it like to get into this? How'd you do that?
I do. And yeah, it's honestly a weird story. We just got karts for Christmas when we were young. The goal was just to have fun with it. It was a good hobby for me and my brother to do on the weekends. And I think having an older brother sort of, kept pushing me that bit further, that more competitiveness to try and keep getting better. You always want to beat your older brother. And from there, as a family, it just grew. And, the competitive nature that we had, we just wanted to keep taking that next step to the next level. And that led us to karting in Europe, and that sort of put us on the F1 path. So a lot of years of hard work and a lot went into it, but yeah, it all paid off.
Do you hope to see more Americans in the sport?
I do, and I think we will, because I've taken a look at a lot of the karting of the young kids nowadays, and I see so many more American flags next to their names, and that's amazing to see. And hopefully, I've showed them it's possible to do so, and if any of them need help, I'll be right there to help them along the way.
Oh, how cool is that? Many of these races, as we just referenced, are overseas, but there are a few, like this weekend, that is back here at home, this one in Austin, Texas. How does it feel to race on American soil as the only American driver?
Well, I get another 2 amazing Grand Prix at home. But no, I think Austin's a special one. I did my first my first official outing in an F1 car in Austin last year, and that was amazing. And I feel like a weekend as a whole, the spectacle's amazing. There's this big run up into turn one, and there's loads of fans on the side, and you can't see anything but fans and people there. And the atmosphere, the energy, the whole weekend is special. So it's one I always look forward to. It's probably my busiest one of the year in terms of commitments, but no, I'm looking forward to getting back on track.
Yeah, it is an awesome track, which is something very cool about this sport, is that they're all different all over the world. Let's talk quickly about Vegas. So it is coming up. A lot of people are really looking forward to the first one, and that track, talk about cool tracks, right down the middle of the Las Vegas Strip. You will be racing there. What are you feeling about that race coming up?
I mean, it's Vegas. It's going to be special. I drove it for the first time on the simulator recently, and the track's super cool. I think, just driving down the strip, really, with all the lights in the city is going to be special. I used to race there a lot as a kid in karting, so to be able to, come back and race in Vegas in a Formula One car is special. And, it's amazing that they're pulling, this race off in such a difficult location to do so. I
cannot wait to see it. Logan Sargent, thank you so much. It's so much fun to get to talk with you. If you ever need a passenger for a hot lap, you can call me.
Thank you.
We got to see you out on the track sometime, though. We'll come talk to you there. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it, and good luck this weekend.
Thank
Have
you very
fun.
much. Thank you.
And that's going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now, but the news continues right now.
Top of the hour, let's get straight to our continuing coverage of the Israel-Hamas war. This morning, confusion and chaos at the Gaza-Egypt border as foreign passport holders there await a promised reopening to evacuate a war zone. The residents of Gaza, meanwhile, facing a growing humanitarian crisis. Food, clean water, fuel, and medical supplies running short. The death toll there growing to more than 2,700. More breaking news overnight. Israeli officials now confirming close to 200 hostages are being held captive by Hamas as the world awaits that long-rumored Israeli ground invasion of Gaza. President Biden over the weekend urging calm among Israel's military. He warns it would be a big mistake for them to occupy Gaza. In the past few moments, the White House announcing he's postponing a planned trip to Colorado to monitor events in Israel. Back in America, sighs of relief as more than 270 Americans evacuated from Israel arrive home. We'll have more on their journey as tense protests across the U.S. are accompanied by heightened security concerns and deadly violence now hitting home. Good to have you with us. We begin our coverage this hour with our chief foreign correspondent, Richard Engel, who has this report from the Israel-Gaza border.
We are in southern Israel, not far from the Gaza border. This is where Israeli troops and tanks have been building up ahead of a possible invasion into the Gaza Strip. This area is already a military zone. People have been asked to leave. They've been evacuated from here. But this morning, Israel also ordered the evacuation of 28 communities in northern Israel along the border with Lebanon. So now 2 of Israel's borders, here in the south and in the north, are military zones.
Waiting for a way out of the war zone. Palestinians with foreign passports, including hundreds of American citizens, are gathered this morning at the Rafah border crossing into Egypt. They're tired and anxious after days of false starts. Militarily, Israeli troops are ready to attack and are lined up on the border with Gaza. But after appearing imminent, Israel seems to be taking its time as diplomacy moves to center stage and amid quiet back-channel negotiations to free the hostages captured by Hamas. Israel today said 199 hostages, more than previously announced, were taken into Gaza. Their relatives have been appealing to Hamas to show humanity. The group even kidnapped babies.
I don't know if he got his food, his formula.
Israeli officials say airstrikes in Gaza won't stop until Hamas is driven from power completely. But that could be difficult without Israel reoccupying the Gaza Strip and imposing a new government for 2 million people. President Biden on 60 Minutes advised against that.
I think it'd be a big mistake. Look, what happened in Gaza, in my view, is Hamas and the extreme elements of Hamas don't represent all the Palestinian people.
In Gaza, the humanitarian crisis is worsening. Around 600,000 Palestinians have followed Israel's orders, according to the Israeli army, to evacuate northern Gaza, which is expected to bear the brunt of an Israeli ground assault. But not everyone can leave, like the 22 children at an orphanage in Gaza City our crew visited. 12 of the children here are disabled. They're being cared for now by only 2 adults after the rest of the staff left for safer areas. Ayas is 9 years old. He's blind and has profound disabilities. Maria is 7 years old and can only scoot. These children can't get out of the way of a coming ground war.
Many Palestinians have been afraid to leave the northern section of the Gaza Strip after an explosion on Friday killed 70 people who were traveling out of Gaza City in a convoy heading south. Over the weekend, the Israeli military said it wasn't responsible. It accused Hamas of planting a bomb in the road in order to deliberately kill civilians so that they would stay in Gaza City, stay in the northern part of the Gaza Strip to be human shields.
Richard Engel, thank you so much.
Jeremy Bash, former chief of staff at the CIA and Department of Defense, joins us now with more on the rising tensions in the Middle East. Thank you very much for joining us. So if we could start on this trip that we have seen from U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken. Today he's back in Israel, but this comes after this diplomacy tour of the Middle East. The U.S., of course, is Israel's staunchest ally, strongest supporter. Walk us through, though, what you think is playing out behind the scenes on this trip for the Secretary of State. In addition to expressing that support, is there any trying to moderate Israel's response at all? What do you think is happening?
I think it's less about trying to moderate Israel's response and more about trying to figure out if any countries in the region, including Egypt, including Qatar, can use their influence, however limited, with Hamas to allow for international Red Cross visitation of the hostages and ultimately to determine whether there can be a negotiated deal to get the hostages out. Remember, there may be up to 20 American hostages being held by Hamas, 200 hostages overall, including infants, including the elderly, including the wounded, the disabled. This is Secretary Blinken's highest priority. Second, he wants the Egyptians to provide a humanitarian corridor to allow Gazans to leave through the Rafah crossing into Egypt. That's a contiguous land border between Egypt and the Gaza Strip. It's really up to the Egyptian government to work this out with Hamas to allow for that safe passage of civilians. And third, I think, as you referenced and as Richard referenced, he's talking to the region about warning Iran not to get involved. Iran has a huge proxy army in the northern part of Israel called Hezbollah. It's a terrorist military. If Iran jumps into this fight, it becomes a much larger regional war, and the U.S. could find itself involved. So Secretary Blinken is urgently trying to prevent that.
Jeremy, let's talk more about the second point you made, because the situation at the Gaza-Egypt border is pretty unclear this morning. All sides are denying there's any ceasefire agreement to allow foreign nationals, that includes Americans, to evacuate, also to allow aid in. What do you think it's going to take to get the border open to ensure safe passage for those who do want to evacuate?
Well, it's going to take pressure by the Egyptian government. I mean, Hamas has not wanted to open the border. They're the government in the Gaza Strip. I mean, I just want to make sure people understand this. Hamas isn't just some ragtag group of people on the back of pickup trucks. No, they have been in control in the government, leading the government of the Gaza Strip since 2006. There's no Israeli presence on the ground there. The Rafah crossing is controlled entirely by the Egyptians on one side, by Hamas on the other. So those parties have to work out how to open that border, let Americans out, let foreign nationals out, and ultimately let Gazans out. You know, the history here is that, of course, the Gaza Strip was administered and run by the Egyptians from about 1950 until 1967. After Israel in the Six-Day War took the Gaza Strip and then returned the Gaza Strip to the Palestinian Authority in 2005, for the last almost 2 decades, since the mid-2000s, the Gazans have been in control of the Gaza Strip, and Hamas has led that. So it's up to the Hamas and the Egyptian individuals and leaders, if you will, to work out this humanitarian corridor.
Jeremy, let's talk about where this sort of goes from here, or end goals. We know that Israel has said many times that the goal here is to eradicate Hamas. Specific reporting from the New York Times says Israel's goal is to capture Gaza City and target Hamas's leadership. Walk us through that strategy and just how costly it could be.
Yeah, it's not different a lot than our strategy to go after al-Qaeda, decapitate their leadership after 9/11, go after their command and control, and to prevent their ability to attack our homeland. I mean, we did that. I worked on counterterrorism missions for the United States. And then, of course, we had to pivot and do the same with respect to ISIS. And these operations don't happen overnight. You don't get results overnight. It's a meticulous effort. It's really intelligence-driven. You first have to find the terrorist leaders, the targets, figure out where their weapons are, their rockets are, their vehicles are, their safe houses are, and their leaders are. Go after them, fix their location, put precision kinetic effects on those targets, meaning in most cases an infantry raid or long-range fires, take out that infrastructure, and then go in with ground troops, collect any intelligence, and start the cycle again. There's a specific term in the military for it: find, fix, finish, exploit, analyze. It's a cycle of counterterrorism operations. Again, it doesn't happen overnight, but this is Israel's playbook, as it has been the United States'.
All right. Jeremy Bash, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate your expertise.
Yeah, we do. Thank you very much. Let's now head to NBC News foreign correspondent Matt Bradley, who joins us from southern Lebanon. Matt, good morning. So this morning, the Israeli military said it was evacuating communities within 2 kilometers of the Lebanese border. Why are they doing that? What's happening on the ground now?
Yeah, well, it's really heating up here, and we've been seeing a low simmer over the past week, and now it looks like we're about to see if any of the actors involved take any of the wrong moves, it could all boil over. So we've been seeing tit-for-tat fighting, and then just yesterday we heard from the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces. They said, and they attributed this to Hezbollah, the predominant military group here in southern Lebanon, that they fired 6 anti-tank missiles at targets in Israel and killed 1 civilian. So there, that is your explanation for why they're evacuating all of these towns. But still, we're still seeing this tit-for-tat back and forth. The Hezbollah said just yesterday that they had attacked the town of Metula, which is the northernmost town in all of Israel. That place has been evacuated several days ago. And also we heard just 2 days ago that a Reuters cameraman was killed by Israeli shelling from across the border from Israel into Lebanon. That also injured 6 other journalists. So clearly, we're seeing an increase in the tempo of the fighting here. It still pales in comparison to what we're seeing in the south in Israel and the Gaza Strip, but it carries the potential for so much worse violence because Hezbollah is such a strong military force. It has much more sophisticated armaments. It has more training. It has more international connections and more political cover than even Hamas. Guys?
Matt, what is the mood like right now inside Lebanon to these mounting tensions as people start to see Hezbollah get involved from, right in their backyard?
Well, I mean, this is Hezbollah land that I'm talking from. So we actually went to a rally the other day on Friday when Hamas had called for a day of rage throughout the Arab and Muslim worlds. And there was rage. There were protests throughout the country, in Iraq, in Yemen, all of these different places. In Rabat, we saw an enormous turnout. In Amman, Jordan as well. So there were people who were in the streets. They were demanding that they stand in solidarity with Hamas. But we don't really know how the average person here feels because this is Shia Lebanon. There's a lot of support here for Hezbollah, but this is a sectarian nation. If you go to the north, you're going to be talking about the Christian community, the Druze community, and the Sunni community further to the east and to the middle of the country. So this is a divided nation. Not everybody here wants to be dragged into yet another horrific war with Israel, of the kind that we saw back in 2006, which really broke Lebanon's back. But at the same time, there's an enormous amount of solidarity and support in this country for the Palestinian cause. Whether or not that translates directly into support for military action, dragging this country into war, that's yet to be seen. But we have heard, again, from these Hezbollah supporters, a lot of bellicose language, a lot of, what seemed like bravado, saying we're ready to fight, we're ready to become martyrs. Whether or not that actually means that they will do so, that's a totally different question, guys.
Matt, we also understand that Iran has issued a new warning to Israel. What are we hearing there?
Yeah, well, this was one of their biggest warnings that we've heard so far just yesterday, saying that they will not sit back and watch as the Israelis move in and dismember Hamas. And this was actually a warning that was toward Israel, but it was directly naming the United States. And that's what's interesting is that, this has become already an internationalized conflict. We talk about bringing in Hezbollah, bringing in Lebanon. Well, already we're seeing a lot of the major actors discussing countries that are far, far further afield. Iran on one side, the U.S. on the other. This is already a proxy fight, and that's why we're hearing Hezbollah and Iran blaming and attacking the United States. Now, one of the biggest provocations for Hezbollah and for Iran was the fact that the USS Gerald Ford and its whole carrier strike group, we're talking about 5 or 6 warships, are parked right off my left shoulder in the eastern Mediterranean. Now that, for the United States, looks like deterrence. But for a lot of folks here in the region, that looks like a threat. And now we're bringing, according to Blinken and other American officials, yet another carrier strike group, a second one, into the eastern Mediterranean. So that is really raising up a lot of tensions. And, of course, the United States has told Israeli officials that this is meant to deter any expansion of the war. But in many ways, it's inciting further all of this bellicose rhetoric that we're hearing from other actors in the region. Guys.
All right. Matt Bradley, stay safe. Thank you very much for your reporting. And now to the firepower Hamas used in its surprise terror attack against Israel. The weapons recovered offer a closer look at what could be used in the fight ahead. NBC News foreign correspondent Raf Sanchez saw them firsthand.
A first look at the deadly arsenal Hamas terrorists used to storm into Israel, and a sign of the firefight that lies ahead. Hamas fighters burst through the border fence equipped not just to kill civilians, but also to fight off Israeli tanks and helicopters. Here, a terrorist fires a rocket-propelled grenade. We saw dozens of the same weapon at an Israeli military base, where arms recovered from Hamas fighters are being analyzed. Rockets, mines, shoulder-fired anti-aircraft missiles, and a magnetic bomb that sticks to the side of a tank.
They brought around 2,000 terrorists in here with hundreds of vehicles.
This Israeli major spoke with us on the condition we not use his name.
Does any of this indicate the direct involvement of Iran?
Not yet. Most of the munition that you see here is a local production of Hamas.
Despite Israel's strict blockade, this Hamas video shows it still makes weapons inside Gaza at factories like this.
This is a thermobaric bomb which creates heat instantly up to 3,000 degrees Celsius. The Israeli military says Hamas terrorists use this to incinerate entire families.
For all their weapons, Hamas is still badly outgunned. And it has no answer to Israel's overwhelming air power. But on the ground in Gaza, they'll have a home field advantage, an elaborate network of tunnels designed to allow them to pop out and ambush Israeli troops. A looming battle that promises to be brutal.
Now, Israel has specialized sensors to detect these Hamas tunnels underground, and it uses so-called bunker buster bombs to try to take them out from the air. But some of these tunnels are nearly 100 feet deep and very difficult to destroy. Back to you.
All right, Raf Sanchez, thank you very much. Well, now to Florida, where there are many sighs of relief this morning as more than 270 Americans who were evacuated from Israel on flights organized by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis arrive home. NBC News correspondent Dasha Burns joins us from Tampa with more on the first U.S. evacuees from Israel. Hey, Dasha, good morning.
Hey, Savannah, good morning. That's right. And look, most major airlines canceled flights in and out of Israel after the Hamas attacks. And many Americans were stranded and were having a hard time getting out of the country. But here in Florida, the DeSantis administration launched an evacuation operation. And last night, we met with folks who finally made their way home, and we heard their stories.
Today, more than 270 Americans evacuated from Israel are back in the United States, arriving in Tampa overnight on the first flight to return to the U.S. in an operation organized by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
It's very emotional to be here, to be away from all of that.
91 of the passengers arriving last night were children.
These kids are having to dodge rockets. These kids are having terrorists come after them. Not the way this world should be.
The Gobioffs spent much of the last week huddled in a Jerusalem bomb shelter with their toddler.
Can you describe the level of fear right now, the level of fear that you had while you were in Israel, and the level of fear in your community?
So on a physical sense, we're very thankful that we're here. We are very blessed that we had a governor, we have a Hashem that got us here. I mean, God took care of everything. But on an emotional level, it is very overwhelming to be in a situation of where you have a fear of your life.
For many, the homecoming is joyful, but the heartache isn't over. Liat Paradise was in Tel Aviv when the war began.
So much. It's so much heartbreak to leave everything so suddenly and everything you love. And I haven't gotten to say goodbye to a single person. I'm worried. You know, all of my friends are out there serving. My cousin is on the front lines in Gaza, you know.
Today and throughout the week here, Savannah.
Dasha Burns, thank you very much for your reporting here. Well, as the conflict continues in the Middle East, law enforcement is on high alert here at home. FBI Director Chris Wray says there's been a spike in potential threats of violence in the wake of the Israel-Hamas war. Tensions are high and protests have erupted in cities across the country. NBC News correspondent Stephanie Gosk joins us now with more on that. Hey, Steph, good morning.
Hey, Savannah, good morning. You know, there are really security concerns on two fronts this morning. The first, what you mentioned with Christopher Wray, concern that terror groups may use this opportunity to attack this country on its own soil. The second is that the mounting anger over the conflict is turning into violence. A 6-year-old Palestinian American boy was stabbed to death in his home in Illinois, and officials there, police, are calling it a hate crime. This morning, rising safety concerns here in the U.S.
There's no question we're seeing an increase in reported threats.
FBI Director Christopher Wray asking for vigilance, warning Hamas and other groups could exploit the conflict in the Middle East to plot attacks here in the United States. While concerns rise that anger here at home
may be spilling into violence. In Illinois, a Palestinian-American boy is dead and his mother is in serious condition. Police say a landlord repeatedly stabbed the Muslim family renting his home in a deadly attack related to the Israel-Hamas war. 6-year-old Wadia Al-Fayumi was killed.
The female's claiming that the landlord has the child in another room and apparently is either stabbing or has stabbed the child.
71-year-old Joseph Zuba is now behind bars, facing murder and hate crime charges. For Wadia's father and cousin, the grief is overwhelming.
Wadia was such an intelligent boy. He was a sweetheart. He loved his iPad. He loved games. He loved watching like cartoons. He was our world.
It's like a dream. I still didn't believe my son is gone.
It comes as law enforcement nationwide has stepped up security at Jewish places of worship.
There's a lot of fear. There's fear now more than ever since the Holocaust.
Since Hamas terrorists attacked Israel more than a week ago, reports of anti-Semitic incidents have spiked nearly 300% compared to the same week last year, according to the Anti-Defamation League. Over the weekend, tens of thousands rallied in cities from coast to coast, holding solidarity marches and vigils for the victims in Israel.
We are protesting. We're walking proudly with the Star of David.
Pro-Palestinian supporters also taking to the streets. Marchers in Atlanta demanding an end to the violence.
We want to stop this.
Overnight, President Biden reacted to that shocking stabbing in Illinois. He called it, in his words, quote, a horrific act of hate that has no place in America. Savannah, back to you.
All right, Stephanie Gosk, thank you very much. Well, coming up on this hour of Morning News Now, while Joran Vandersloot, that high-profile suspect in the disappearance of Natalie Holloway, is expected back in an Alabama court this week. But first, the latest out of Washington and the uphill battle Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan now faces as the race for House Speaker heats up this morning. Those stories and more after this. Welcome back. Members of the House are expected back on Capitol Hill today as Republicans and Democrats are planning to meet separately ahead of a House vote tomorrow for Speaker. Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan won the Republican nomination for Speaker last week after House Majority Leader Steve Scalise dropped out of the running. But just like Scalise, Jordan faces an uphill climb to get the support needed to win the speakership. NBC News senior Capitol Hill correspondent Garrett Haake has the latest from Washington.
Hey, Savannah, Joe, good morning. Republicans are optimistic they can start this process tomorrow, but maybe not that they can finish it. When lawmakers left town on Friday, there were still roughly 50 Republicans prepared to vote against their nominee, Jim Jordan, and he could only afford to lose 4. Now, Jordan has the support of former President Trump and the GOP's right wing, but some more moderate members simply don't trust him. And Jordan's high-pressure campaign online and on conservative media may be pushing those lawmakers even further away from him. We'll get a better idea tonight when lawmakers come back into town. Now, the other piece of this is what happens next, especially if Jordan fails. The answer to that is there's no consensus plan at all. Some Republicans may want to just keep holding votes to try to keep the pressure up. And it's also possible we will see still more Republican candidates step forward to be Speaker. Then there are the Democrats. Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries said on Meet the Press yesterday that Democrats could be willing to help, possibly in exchange for concessions, like making it easier to take up bipartisan bills. That would include legislation like aid to Israel, which the White House is expected to formally request this week, but which Congress can't touch until they solve this speaker's mess now almost 2 weeks in. Joe, Savannah.
All right, Garrett Haake, thank you very much. Well, new this morning, NBC News has announced it will host the Republican National Committee's third presidential primary debate. It will take place on Wednesday, November 8th in Miami. The RNC says participating candidates must secure at least 4% in multiple polls and 70,000 unique donors to earn a spot on that stage. Those candidates will be announced in the coming weeks. Our live coverage of the GOP debate will get underway at 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, November 8th on NBC, as well as right here on NBC News Now. So tune in. Well, now it is time for another check on your Morning News Now weather, and it is getting chillier and chillier all over the place. Michelle Grossman's with us. Hey, good morning.
Hey there. Yeah, we're really chilly in a lot of spots. A lot of us need
jackets, of course, but we also need some hats, some gloves in some spots because we're looking at temperatures below freezing to kick off this Monday, and it's going to stay cool as we go throughout the day. So as we go throughout the week here, today it's relatively quiet. Yes, we have some chilly air in place. We're going to have that autumn chill in place all day long, but plenty of sunshine throughout the plains, nice and dry in the southwest. We do have the chance for some heavy rain in the Pacific Northwest. It's a coastal front that's moving onshore. It's going to bring the chance even up to 4 inches of rain in some spots, some higher elevation, mixed precipitation with cold air enough in place. An autumn chill all the way down through portions of the Gulf Coast states, even into encroaching on the southeast. And that's all due to an area of high pressure that's bringing the sunshine, an area of low pressure back to the Canadian Maritimes. These are spinning together, working together to bring some really cool air down from Canada. So we're looking at the chance also for a few showers. It's light, some sprinkles throughout the Northeast, very localized, very isolated as we go throughout the day, but still need to keep that in mind as you're out and about on this Monday. Then as we near Wednesday, another quiet day. We have sunshine really from the southwest to the northwest, a little bit of rain in the northern parts of the Pacific Northwest. We're looking at some rain in the northern plains into the Great Lakes. Could see some thunderstorms as well. We're not talking widespread severe weather as we go throughout this work week, but still looking at some soggy spots at times. Then fall-like temperatures remain in place on Wednesday, but getting back to normal, rebounding in terms of those temperatures, but still lots of sunshine from New England to the northeast down to the southeast. So quiet once again on Wednesday. Things begin to change a little bit on Friday, a little bit more cloud cover. And yes, as we near next weekend, we are looking at rain once again. I think this makes it like the 7th weekend in a row where we're looking at the chance for some rain in portions of the northeast, New England, all the way down to the southeast. Could see a storm threat there, so some gusty thunderstorms. Also looking at the chance for some rain into the Great Lakes, into the Tennessee Valley. So wet there from the Rockies east, really the plains east. We're dry. We're looking at lots of sunshine throughout the plains on Friday. Really fantastic weather throughout the Intermountain West and Northwest into the Southwest. It's going to be warm, though, in parts of the South Central states. Not warm this morning. We're starting out with frost alerts, freeze alerts. We have frost advisories. That's in the pink here for Norfolk, Red Oak, down to Selena, even portions into Oklahoma and also Texas. And then we have freeze warnings because we are below freezing in some spots. Kearney down to Dodge City, that's where the hot pink is. And we're going to be chilly today. We're going to be chilly once again tomorrow. Temperature is not going very far as we go throughout the day. Notice all the blue and the purple. That's indicating that cold air in place, really due to that high pressure and that low pressure working together. Temperatures in the 50s, the 60s, but notice the blue triangles next to them. That's telling us how below average we are. So temperatures 5, even 15 degrees below what is typical for this time of year. Dallas, you're chilly, 68 degrees. That's 11 degrees below normal. Same story in Houston, low 70s in New Orleans, Tallahassee, 13 degrees below normal. Then as we look towards the northeast, we're looking at temperatures below normal in Washington, D.C. and the mid-Atlantic, 7 degrees below. We're going to be into the low 60s there. Same story tomorrow. Count on another chill tomorrow. Cool as we look towards the Tennessee Valley into the Gulf Coast states once again. Jacksonville below normal, 71 degrees, 60s in Knoxville, Atlanta, Memphis, also Indianapolis, 50s in Charleston, and we're looking at 75 degrees. That sounds nice, but it's still below normal in parts of Louisiana. Closer to average as we near the midweek. We're looking at temperatures rebounding into the 70s on Wednesday in Cincinnati, into the mid-60s in Pittsburgh, looking better in New York City too, into the mid-60s. So that's really nice for this time of year and what we're typically expecting. Now, I mentioned that area of low pressure. So easy to see on this map here. You see that spin there, and that's funneling down these sprinkles, these light showers. I don't think you need the umbrella. Maybe you need the jacket as you're headed out with that cool air with a hood. That might be nice from time to time as you kind of encounter some of these sprinkles, but it's going to be light stuff. Then that's going all the way down to parts of the Tennessee Valley, the Appalachians too. So you're going to be dealing with those isolated showers from this area of low pressure. Also with the cool air, the showers, we're looking at the chance for some really gusty winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour. Wet too on the West Coast. We have a cold front moving onshore. That's really the Pacific Northwest. We're talking about Washington to Oregon, and the chance for some really heavy rain in some spots. That's the brighter colors you see here, and we could see up to 4 inches in some spots, mainly from Seattle, Portland, Eugene, Medford down to Eureka. So that's going to be a big story as we head throughout the day. Talking about the tropics, not a whole lot going on, but we're kind of concerned about Invest 94L. The National Hurricane Center is watching this because we could see tropical development as we head towards the later part of this week. That's something that we're going to watch as we go throughout this work week. Savannah?
All right, Michelle, thank you so much. Sure. Well, a fresh face in politics is making history as Ecuador's newest president-elect. NBC News foreign correspondent Claudio Labanga has that and other world headlines. Hey, Claudio, good morning.
Good morning, guys. That's right. Let's start our tour of the world in Ecuador, where they just elected the youngest president in the country's history. 35-year-old Daniel Noboa won the election over the weekend, taking home 52% of the vote ahead of rival Luisa Gonzalez. Noboa's father, Alvaro Noboa, unsuccessfully ran for the presidency 5 times. Noboa's big win comes amid a wave of gang violence in Ecuador in recent years. Noboa told his supporters after his win, "Tomorrow we start work for this new Ecuador." Now let's travel over to Beijing, where Chinese leader Xi Jinping is gathering world leaders. This high-profile meeting will lay out China's new vision for the future. Leaders from more than 130 countries, spanning from the Middle East to the Global South, are expected to attend, including Russian President Vladimir Putin. This is China's first time hosting an international event of this magnitude since their nearly 3 years of pandemic lockdown. And let's end our world tour in India, where Afghanistan surprised sports fans and me, defeating England in the ICC Cricket World Cup. Listen to that. This was a monumental upset for England, the defending cricket world champion. Meanwhile, Afghanistan has only ever won 1 World Cup match in history. So this is a major victory for their team, winning the match by 69 points. Fans are calling it the biggest ICC men's cricket World Cup upset of all time.
Never saw that one coming.
I wish I knew more about cricket to really know how crazy that
was for
score
you, Joe,
difference is.
because I know how Joe is a big cricket fan.
Yes.
There you go. Claudia, thank you so much. Well, coming up, the high-profile disappearance of Natalie Holloway.
Story back in the headlines this morning. The man long thought to be connected to the case expected back in court this week. We're back with new developments in the Natalie Holloway case. Nearly 20 years ago, Holloway went missing while on a high school graduation trip to Aruba. Now the suspect, who has long been linked to the disappearance, is expected to accept a plea deal for trying to extort Holloway's family. NBC News correspondent Sam Brock joins us with the latest. Sam, good morning.
Yeah, Joe, good morning. Imagine that almost 20 years later, we may finally be getting some answers on Natalie Holloway. Now, the Holloway family attorney tells us the court this week is considering a plea deal that would require Joran Vandersloot to be providing information to authorities about how Natalie Holloway died and also how her body was disposed of. Joe, here is the key. The U.S. Attorney's Office and the public defenders representing Vandersloot have not confirmed this information. However, there is a plea and sentencing hearing that is on the docket scheduled for this Wednesday involving Vandersloot.
In just 2 days, Joran Vandersloot will appear in an Alabama courtroom once again. The prime suspect in Natalie Holloway's disappearance for years, Vandersloot has never been charged with her murder. But he was extradited to the U.S. months ago, accused of attempting to extort the Holloway family. Vandersloot pleaded not guilty, but according to the Holloway family attorney, the court will consider a plea deal this week with a major contingency.
It was conditioned upon Mr. Vandersloot revealing details of how Natalie died and how her body was disposed of.
No government officials have confirmed this information to NBC News. Kelly expects Vandersloot's detailed narrative of how Natalie died to be revealed after court this week, but much remains under wraps.
There won't be any further, investigation or search or anything like that if that's what you're asking for Natalie's remains.
Back in 2010, federal prosecutors accused Vandersloot of attempting to extort $250,000 from Holloway's mother, Beth, for information about how her daughter died. Kelly says the Dutch national later agreed to reveal the location of Natalie's remains in Aruba in exchange for a $25,000 payment. The information proved false. In June, federal agents transported Vandersloot to Birmingham, Alabama from Peru, where he was serving a 28-year sentence for killing college student Stephanie Flores. It's believed Vandersloot was one of the last people to see Holloway alive. On the 10-year anniversary of Natalie's disappearance, Beth Holloway telling Savannah she was still seeking justice for her daughter.
Until Joran faces the extortion charges in the U.S., then justice is not being served for Natalie.
According to Kelly, that justice can never be fully delivered, but relief from a decades-long legal process could be coming.
And, Joe, that hearing is set for 9:30 this Wednesday, and it should be noted there are credibility issues here, given the fact that Joran Vandersloot had lied in the past. But according to the Holloway family attorney, the information he provided had to be corroborated by the FBI. We're going to learn much more information after the hearing later this week. Joe?
All right, Sam, thank you so much.
Well, turning now to some sad news in the entertainment industry. This morning, we're mourning the loss of an icon, Suzanne Somers, who rose to fame on Three's Company. She passed away in her Palm Springs home yesterday.
NBC News correspondent Ann Thompson joined us now to reflect on her life and legacy. Ann, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Suzanne Somers became a household name for her memorable TV roles. But she was also a prolific author, an entrepreneur, and a champion of women's health and fitness. After a long battle with an aggressive form of breast cancer, she died, surrounded by her family one day before her 77th birthday. A TV icon of the 70s, Suzanne Somers mastered the ditzy blonde.
Oh, boy, you really loused up that toast. It's not my fault. Eleanor didn't leave the recipe.
But behind the giggles was a savvy businesswoman, workout icon, and health and anti-aging advocate.
Take a step that is new.
Somers made us laugh for decades. I love you! As the country fell in love with the effervescent Chrissy Snow.
This will be fine. What is it?
We use it to clean the sink.
Helping turn Three's Company into a blockbuster success. Her run not closing with a storybook ending. After Somers telling us here on Today, she was fired for demanding to be paid as much as popular male TV stars.
It was very painful for me because I never meant to leave that show. But you know, in retrospect, the greatest thing that happened to me was getting fired from that show.
In the 90s, she would find TV success again as the quirky mom next door Carol Lambert on ABC's Step by Step.
Give us all a chance to be together as a family and talk.
Whatever.
Yeah, right.
Acting would be the springboard for a lucrative business career. With her husband, Alan Hamill, they hit the jackpot, selling the Thigh Master.
I used to do aerobics till I dropped. Then I found Thigh Master.
And reinventing herself into a health and fitness guru. Somers also fought cancer, battling an aggressive form of breast cancer for more than 20 years.
The diagnosis is one thing, but when they take the bandages off, and all the women out there who've been through that as well as I have, it's a constant reminder.
First diagnosed in 2000, this July, Somers shared on social media it had returned. But she always remained positive, writing, "I know how to put on my battle gear, and I'm a fighter." She dedicated her later life to helping women look and feel their best, writing more than 20 books and causing some controversy as she embraced alternative medicine. The constant in her life, her husband of more than 40 years, Alan Hamill.
I like the way I look. I like the way I feel. I like my life.
You like your husband?
I really like my husband. No wonder I'm happy.
Fans and friends paying tribute to Somers. Barry Manilow writing on Instagram, "Suzanne and I were friends for decades. She was the sister I never had and my close confidant forever." A longtime friend of Today, Somers always knew how to make us laugh.
I'm a really fun woman to live with. I wake up happy almost every day.
Somers' publicist says her family had all been gathered to celebrate her birthday today, but instead they will celebrate her extraordinary life, also revealing a private family burial will take place this week with a memorial next month. And this morning, Somers' co-star on Three's Company, Joyce DeWitt, is issuing this statement in reaction to Somers' death. She says, "I'm sure Suzanne was greeted by angels into the loving wisdom waiting for all of us on the other side. And I hope that will assist her family's hearts in healing as they travel through this difficult time." Fun to look back on those clips.
It definitely is.
Absolutely. And thank you. Well, coming up, the SNL couples cameo. Well, alleged couple.
Yeah, that's got Swiftie Nation buzzing once again. We're going to tell you all about it after this.
Welcome back. Let's get you some financial headlines now. Ford is cutting shifts over some major issues with one of its trucks.
CNBC's Bertha Coombs is back with that and other money news. Bertha, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Joe. Yeah, Ford is temporarily cutting shifts at the plant in Michigan where it builds the electric F-150 Lightning pickup truck. The automaker is citing several issues, including supply chain problems. Ford says the cuts are not related to the UAW strike, but the Wall Street Journal reports a union memo said that Ford was considering canceling a shift due to slowing demand. And the company was looking to rebuild or build more gas-powered trucks instead. Ford declined to comment on that memo. You can now buy a luxury sports car with Bitcoin. Ferrari is working with crypto payment processor BitPay to accept Bitcoin and Ether for purchases in the U.S., something customers were asking for. Ferrari says there will not be any additional fees for those paying with crypto, and BitPay will convert the payments to traditional currency during the transaction to avoid any issues with market volatility. And Taylor Swift is a box office hero. Pop superstar's concert film taking in an estimated $126 million around the world. Of course, the estimates were far higher than that nonetheless. Sales in the U.S. and Canada are expected to reach nearly $100 million, according to AMC, which distributed Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour. That tops the previous record holder for a concert film, Justin Bieber's Never Say Never, which was released way back in 2011. And, you know, these women are going to continue to top the ticket sales because Beyonce's tour is coming up next.
Yes.
That's right.
Theaters too.
I saw the Eras tour last night. It's so good. So much fun. Such good energy in the theater.
Thanks, Bertha.
And we are now going to stay on Taylor Swift. So from Kansas City to New York City, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift made a surprise appearance, and they were out on the town. And it's got Swifties like me swooning with excitement. It all comes on the heels of a record-breaking weekend, as Bertha just told us, for that concert film. It's at the top of the box office. And Kelce, on the other hand, and the Chiefs are celebrating 5 straight wins. NBC News correspondent Emily Aketa has the latest.
Hey there. Well, it was a whirlwind of a weekend for us Swifties, between the premiere of the Eras Tour concert film and the debut of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce walking hand in hand here in New York. It seems the stars aren't looking to shake off those dating rumors anytime soon.
Call it what you want, but Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are making sparks fly.
We love you so much.
Overnight, the pair spotted out for dinner in New York City after Kelce showed up solo to the Eagles-Jets game earlier in the day to watch his big brother Jason play. Swift and Kelce both also made surprise cameos during the season premiere of Saturday Night Live, with Kelce poking fun at the NFL, swooning over Swift.
When we get back, we are going to speak with someone who actually wants to talk football.
Later, the 12-time Grammy winner introducing friend and fellow musician Ice Spice.
Once again, Ice Spice.
That same night, Tavis stepped out in style, walking hand in hand for an apparent dinner date. This weekend, the first time the two have been seen together in public since Swift first cheered on the Chiefs tight end last month.
Hey.
Since then, rooting on the team alongside famous friends and, of course, Mama Kelce. It comes as Swift's Eras Tour movie is enchanting audiences worldwide, first premiering in Los Angeles last Wednesday.
We are literally watching the concert film with Taylor Swift right behind us,
before turning screenings into an all-out dance party. Early estimates show the concert film has already raked in nearly 9 figures in its opening weekend, making it the highest-grossing concert film ever in the U.S. in a mere few days. CNBC reports theaters will take 43% of the proceeds, while the remaining 57% will be split between AMC and Swift herself. That's thanks to a rare deal she made directly with the theater giant.
They thought they could do it themselves without all the expense involved with the studio for making the movie, distributing it, and they thought they could do it much more quickly.
Now, with the box office blowout and an ongoing record-breaking tour, it seems Taylor can add MVP to her reputation, most valuable pop star.
And fans will be on Taylor watch for only a few more Chiefs games before her schedule is really about to fill up. The Eras Tour heads to South America in just over 3 weeks as her run of sold-out shows continues. Back to you.
All right, Emily Aketa, thank you so much. Coming up, they're oftentimes Sunday night's unsung heroes, the humble ticket takers.
Well, after the break, I've got more than a couple reasons you should pay attention to some very special members of the Bills Mafia. Next on Morning News Now. The Buffalo Bills squeaked out a win last night against the New York Giants on NBC Sunday Night Football. I was actually in Buffalo last night, met with some very special members of the Bills Mafia. Now, when most of us go to the game, we may not pay much attention to the person who scans our ticket, but after this story, you just might. I want to introduce you to 3 Buffalo Bills ticket takers who've been doing the job for about half a century.
If Buffalo's rowdy, passionate fans are known as the Bills Mafia,
Go Buffalo!
you could say these are the beloved, beaming bouncers.
Have fun. Enjoy.
Last night, these loyal ticket takers were on the job again.
Everybody's in. Thank you so much.
Same job that Lori Pollack and Jackie Kaiser have done for 49 years.
Got 3.
And Kathy Goodwin for 51.
Why have you been doing this for so long?
Love the Bills. It's fun. I really enjoy the fans.
You meet a lot of interesting people. You really do. And the people you work with become your friends, too.
What is it about football?
Football is my heart.
Why is that?
It's a family thing. It's generational. Many generations in my family.
When they were hired in the 70s, only men were ticket takers. The women were called usherettes, wearing these outfits.
And we thought we were pretty special in our little uniforms.
We did. Yeah. We did.
And yes, they still own those fashionable bowler hats.
We were supposed to wear them like this, down on our eyebrows, but we all hated it.
Of course, their outfits today are quite different, especially in a city known for its extreme weather.
A year ago, January, the Patriots game, it was a playoff game. The wind chill was below 0. It was a night game. I had 5 layers on. I did.
Unlike some members of the Bills Mafia, they don't jump through tables or take catch-up showers. Their pregame rituals are quite tame.
I love to get in a little early, go sit out in the stadium, just take everything in.
A couple hours before kickoff, that's when they see the most action.
Everybody's good. Thank you.
For so many fans, you're kind of like the first face they see when they come in the stadium. What does that mean to you?
Well, to me, it means that I'm representing the Bills. So to me, it means I want the first experience that they have to be a positive one.
Even if those fans cheer for the other team.
You tell them, have a good time, but you know you're not going to win today. So sometimes I'll tell them, oh, it's a good thing you got here because at noon we stopped letting Dolphins fans in.
The Bills know just how much these familiar faces mean to the fans.
Everything. I mean, Buffalo is known as the city of good neighbors, and the fact that we have every single one of our team members embody that says it all for itself right there.
You know, when I started, I thought I'll stay till they win a Super Bowl, and here I am, 51 years later.
That begs the question, how long do you plan to do this for?
As long as I can.
Yeah, exactly.
If I could, do it, I'll do it.
They're planning on a new stadium across the street they're building, and
we got to see that.
We do. We really want to see that. It's going to be interesting. I kind of feel like they're going to carry me out of here someday.
Nothing but gratitude for everything this job has given the ticket takers.
3, 2, 1.
Go Bills!
In addition to taking tickets a few years ago, Lori started giving tours on non-game days, something she truly loves. The Bills are building that new stadium, slated to open in 2026. As for the current stadium, not only has Kathy been working on the game day team since it opened 51 years ago on day one, she actually worked for the Public Works Department, which was involved in building the stadium. So she's really been there since the beginning, you can say.
It's so neat to see how much they seem to be considered like part of the team and the family. You know what I mean?
Everyone knows who they are. They're this familiar face if you're a season ticket holder. My other favorite thing was one of the women said, like 25, 30 years ago, one of their relatives asked, when are you going to give this up? You're too old. And that was 25, 30 years ago.
Oh, my gosh.
I think they are there. And of course, the Bills have never won a Super Bowl, so that's what they want to see.
That's what she said. Well, she's still got to hang in there. Also, them doing that in the freezing, my goodness.
It gets cold. It gets
5
cold
layers. Makes sense.
All right, that does it for this hour of Morning News Now.
But the news continues right now. Don't go anywhere.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.